what it comes down to is just getting to know our clients, bottom line. And identifying specifically in the scale we use, of those 10 factors, what are important to the clients, identifying where the risk is for the executives, and then being able to say, if you don't want to engage your population, here's what we can do to achieve, but understand you're taking the risk on yourself. But because we're spending time in the more employee-focused involvement, and we can express it from the standpoint of our fees are less than 1% of your entire project, people listen. Because if you can reduce risk by spending less than 1% of your project, you're probably going to have a conversation at this point. And if you know it's going to maybe not solve everything, but it's going to solve questions, some of the questions to get people back, it's likely to happen.
When you're creating a cultural event for the office, most people are coming in when there's something big, something cultural going on, some kind of community style event where there's, creating connection with people in the office. So if you can create spaces that help, people want to be there and help them connect, to your point as well, creating spaces that enhance that experience. Imagine what that kind of space would be. Gauge from your client what their culture is. Try to dig into it and create a space that they all feel welcome.
Someone said it earlier, it's not what the culture you had before, it's, you're creating something new. So you really have to talk about diving deep into the pandemic, post-pandemic lessons learned, the type of things that worked well, the type of things that didn't work well, and what kind of environment do you want to create? And how can we support that environment? And bringing IT, AV, security, all these elements up front early in the conversation. And we're starting to collect a lessons learned. So those are making sure that when you have what we're going to call these little micro offices, making sure your desk is facing the sidewall. Don't have it facing, the glass so that people can walk by and see a Zoom room. Making sure that you have considered all the acoustics so that it's functional. So much of the pushback we're getting as people are coming back into the office, those that are coming back, they don't want to come back because everyone's on calls. So you can hear what's going on. There's solutions all abound. Right now, it's about creating these individual experiences because you have to think about when you're working from home, you have everything at your fingertips. I have my dog I can look at. That's a whole other conversation. It's about a doggy daycare, but I can get my coffee right here. I have everything super easy. So how can you create these individual environments so that right now when people come to collaborate, so many of our clients are saying, well, listen, we're just coming in to collaborate. We don't need focus work. But when you're coming in for collaboration day, you still have to take phone calls. Someone still has to step away. So you really can't forget those spaces as well. And what we're seeing off the board with that are clients that are thinking in their spaces. We have one client that is designing their offices are about 1,000 square feet. They're going hub and spoke. Everyone is remote, and they have a collaborate day. And what they're asking of their employees is to come in 1 day a month for 8 hours. That's the sole function of this 1,000 square foot space. So how to really make that space special, but also provide focus areas and the meeting areas at the same time.
When you're at home, you have a very specialized space. And so how do we take that piece into an office now when we don't necessarily have assigned spaces, but could you have more of a shared space where I could have my family photo, you could have your family photo, but it feels like home when you're coming to it?
The one thing we've had that was extremely successful are digital picture frames. And it seems like such an easy answer. And we were shocked at how well it was received by putting them at all of the different dedicated, undedicated desks, but it's still a desking environment. And all they have to do is plug in a USB or their phone or whatever else it is. Their family vacation's coming up, their kids are coming up. And it helped one organization get over that angst.